Yo, what it is? It's your boy Drew. We're reading books, y'all. I'm down with the books. Alright? Yo, and we're reading DogBreath Victorious, okay? By Chad Henry. Alright, because this book is awesome. And we're on chapter 19. Okay, so enough flapping around. Let's do some more flapping, but with reading instead of me just thinking off my head. Alright, let's do this. Chapter 19. Okay. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning the same night. We'd walked all the way to Ziggy's place, then fallen straight to sleep. Suddenly I was awake. A full moon shone through the window and into my face. Ziggy and Howard lay asleep on the futon next to me, both snoring. I lay there on my side of the lumpy futon, thinking dark thoughts. My life had hit the complete bottom, the very worst it could ever get. I had known total and complete humiliation that night. I thought maybe I could just go disappear somewhere, go shave my head and live in some Buddhist monastery on some remote Japanese island, living on rice and vegetables and running 10 miles a day and meditating 12 hours a day and swimming in the ice-cold ocean and learning to play those giant taiko drums. Something like that. First, I'd have to find enough money, though, for a plane ticket to Japan. Nothing is ever easy. Lying there in the dark, tormented by the demons of my recent past, I tried taking my mother's advice. I mentally surrounded my whole life with a pink balloon. I mentally let it float away, out of sight, forever and ever. I mentally chanted, my life is getting better and better. But it didn't work. Here I was, still trapped in my body. Still in Ziggy's dark, dirty, rat-infested garage apartment. Still a laughing stock of the entire music scene of Seattle. And in despair of myself. Try as I might, I couldn't think of a way out of this incredibly dark, tangled mess I was in the middle of. Suddenly, the image of a Quell Welch, dressed in her 1,000,000 years BC fur bikini, came bursting in my mind. She just stood there, squinting in the harsh, paleolithic sunshine, woman enough for any challenge her primitive life might throw in her path. I pulled a legal pad out of my backpack and started writing a letter to Quell. Dear Miss Welch, who am I? What am I? What is my purpose here on Earth? My life is not getting better and better. It's getting worse and worse. My dad's dead. I'm broke. I'm in love with someone who doesn't love me back. My mom's band beat my band. What should I do? Sincerely, Timmy Therapel. I slipped out of bed and put on my clothes. Started to tiptoe out of the door. Howard looked up at me through one half eye open. Go back to sleep, Howie, I whispered. Howie heaved a sigh and flopped his head back down. I slipped out and closed the apartment door behind me. Outside, the night was majestic. The sky was bright and clear, star-spangled across the horizon. A night breeze made rustling sounds in the maple trees along the street, and a night bird croaked up above me. I could see the Big Dipper and sighting along the forward edge of the cup. I found Polaris, the North Star, shining alone out in the center of the universe. It seemed to me like there's still the center point of a gyroscope, standing firm and strong as everything else spins around it. Everything changes but death and taxes and man's inhumanity to man in the North Star. I walked down the 12th Street hill under the shadow of the interstate past the rocket office, down toward the lake and the bridge. There was no traffic coming. That was weird. Down the Boyer, I crossed the street to the bridge against the red light. I strolled out along the pedestrian lane on the west side of the span. The lake was quiet, lapping against the giant concrete piers that supported the bridge. I looked out to the bridge mailbox, pulled it open, and looked inside. There it was, the photograph of Raquel in her fur bikini, defiant and alone against a world of mastodons, saber-tooths, and dinosaurs. I fished the letter out of my pocket and dropped it into the mailbox. I shut the mailbox, patted it, and said a little prayer. Help me, Miss Welch. You're my only hope. I walked over to the bridge railing, leaning my elbows on the dusty green painted metal, and looked down over the water. It was so peaceful and serene down there. Nobody out there had a single care. Down on the south bank of the lake, right in the shadow of the bridge, there was a little colony of houseboats. Most of them were dark at this time of night, but one still had a few lights on. A man stood out on the houseboat deck playing a clarinet. The soft nasal mellow sound spiraled up into the starry night, and suddenly I felt peace in my heart. I had a sure feeling that somehow everything would get better. A police helicopter swooped down over the lake, aiming a spotlight at something out on the dark water, and they were gone. The lake was quiet once again. The soft puda of an expensive outboard motor announced the arrival of a tall sailboat coming down around the corner of the lake shore, probably heading for a mirage somewhere in Lake Washington. Her sails were furled and she was running under power. A lone man stood on the deck of the big sailboat, steering her from the afterdeck wheel. Her main mast was over 50 feet tall. They'd have to open the bridge to let her pass. The man with the clarinet waved at the man on the sailboat. The man on the sailboat waved back. As the sailboat neared the bridge, the skipper shifted the boat engine to neutral and gave her 2 short, sharp honks on his boat horn, signaling the night shift bridge operator that he wanted to pass underneath the bridge. From up in the dimly lit bridge tower, the operator honked back, signaling the boat skipper that he'd be opening the bridge in a few seconds. Whoever the operator was, I know it wasn't that traitor Wendy, because for all I knew, she was still living it up over at my house. I looked down over the boat deck. The man below looked about as big as a jelly bean. Abruptly, a few yards away from me, the bridge's warning bell started dinging. The yellow guard arms began slowly, mechanically, to unfold and reach across toward each other to prevent the traffic from driving onto the bridge. Except at 3 a.m, there wasn't any traffic. I started to turn and leave the bridge, and then I turned back. Here's my chance to live out one of my lifelong fantasies. Here's my chance to ride the bridge all the way up into the starry night sky. Why not? There was no traffic. It was dark on the bridge deck. The bridge tender would never see me, and the boat below wouldn't either. I could hear Raquel telling me that I need to do something extraordinary, something risky and dangerous, something momentous, to turn the tide of my life. Riding the bridge up into the night seemed to be a likely deed. A but juste, a key to turn the deadbolt into the triple locked door that stood between me and my good fortune. Heart pounding, I slipped my fingers through the crisscross steel mesh and stretched between the metal posts along the sides of the bridge. There are many times when time seems to stand still. At first, this was one of those times. But I could remember like in a dream, the main points. Slowly, the bridge deck split across the middle. Slowly, the bridge raised up an inch at a time, the warning bell playing a ding-dong accompaniment. In a few more seconds, I could stand upright anymore. As the bridge deck tilted past a 45-degree slant and kept moving, I hooked my toes into the metal mesh below my feet. I heard wind in the trees. I heard traffic on the interstate overpass. I heard the warning bell dinging. In a few more heartbeats, the bridge deck was fully upright, and I was hanging high up in the air, dangling from the guardrail. I slipped my toes out of the mesh so I could dangle free in the air for a few seconds. The wind whistled past my ears. The moon reflected down on the ruffly lake. It was awesome. Below me, the giant sailboat glided majestically underneath the bridge. The fog light on the main mast passed just a few yards in front of my nose. The metal dug into my clenched fingers. My hands started to feel numb in the cold night air, but I clung hard, riding the giant up into the stars. Nothing is won by those who give up too easy, by those who just let go. Suddenly, the whole mood was spoiled by a bossy, bratty voice coming over the bridge PA system. "Please, hang on. Help is on the way. Don't jump. Don't let go. Think of all you have to live for. If nothing else, try to remember that committing suicide is illegal. I've called for help." Suicide? Me? Boy, did they have me figured wrong. The bridge stayed where it was, open wide and high up in the air. Why didn't the stupid bridge tender lower the thing? How much longer did they think I could stay up here like this? I heard horns honking. Down below, backed up behind the guardrails, a handful of cars waited to cross the bridge. Somebody shouted, "Hey kid, look over this way and wave." I looked and somebody flashed a camera. Somebody else had a video camcorder trained on me. Great, just great. Then, once again, I heard far away, but getting closer, the of another helicopter. Then it got very, very loud. The black and white police copter rounded the bridge tower and came into view just above me. The downdraft practically knocked me off my perch. I looked up and suddenly I was looking into the glare of a 1,000,000-watt spotlight. I saw a rope ladder being lowered, slowly lowered down from the open hatch of the helicopter, and I heard a voice over the bullhorn.
This is Seattle Police Department. Please move slowly and carefully. Put one hand at a time on the rope ladder. Hang on tight. Place your feet below you. Then we will assist you into the aircraft.
Well, as I saw it, my options were A, to stay where I was, B, climb the ladder, or C, jump off the bridge into the lake about 30 feet below. If I stayed there or climbed up the ladder, I was bound to go to jail or something. Option C didn't look very good either. Who knew how deep the water was there? Well, it was deep enough for big ships to go through. So, great deeds and all, you know. Don't try this at home, kids. I swung around to the other side of the bridge railing, took a deep breath, said another, who knew, maybe final prayer, and let go, and hurtled like a stone toward the lake. Wow. Okay, there you have it. That was chapter 19, DogBreath Victorious. You know, that was a pretty intense, heartfelt, emotional chapter, I feel like, and it was a good one. You know, he's just spiraling, you know, he's in a very dark area, and I know now I get he's not trying to commit suicide, he's just trying to be courageous and, you know, do something courageous. That's what he's trying to do. He's not trying to kill himself or nothing, but I just gotta say, if you do feel that way, you know, there's people that you could talk to help you through that. You know, going out like that is not the right way to do it, but just want to say there's suicide prevention hotlines and stuff that you can call, so but hopefully he survives. There's a few more chapters left still, so I'm pretty sure he's okay. But I'm wondering, since they recorded him, is that gonna boost his band somehow, or I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out there. But there you have it. He did it. He decided to do what's that movie called with the vampires? The Lost Boys. He tried to pull a Lost Boy, and yeah, except for he's not a vampire, yo. There you go. There you have it. That was chapter 19. I hope you enjoyed it. And just remember that you're loved and you're not alone in this world. So, you know, we're supposed to go out when we're meant to, not when we feel like it. I feel like, even though life's hard and it's a struggle, probably our whole lives. I don't know if there's moments that are nice. But according to entropy, you know, everything changes, everything breaks down eventually. So enjoy life. Don't take it away. Okay, that was a deep episode of Reading with Drew. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good day. Be positive, be happy. Know you're loved. I love you for watching this. All two of you. All right. Woo! Hot dog. See ya.